Good evening, everybody. How are we today? Hope everybody's well, wherever you are around this world. It says there's two watching, so that's a record for me for starters. I basically talk to myself, but as I said before, that's all right. I don't mind. It's all part of the process, this YouTube stuff, you know. So if anybody's there, just drop us a message in the comments. I've got a couple of things to talk about, but I'm hoping viewers will come in and over time and put up a couple of suggestions, which would be nice. And I'm not an expert on everything, but if I know about it, I'll talk about it. So but yeah, it's been a nice day here today. Yeah, Star of the Seas, how are you, mate? Thanks for joining us. He's probably about half an hour away from me, going by what he was telling me. So yeah, good to see you. You're the first person that's ever made a comment on my channel, so good on you, Stars of the Sea. Not by popular demand. What the hell was that? I don't even understand what I'm writing here. Anyway, probably, I don't like to be too political, but, just some things that are on my mind is that the government's virus app, all the Conservatives are singing from the roof, saying we should download it. Well, I've got my reasons why I won't be downloading it. And all I'm going to say is it's because I'm a Victorian and it's managed by the Victorian government. So, work that out for yourself. And plus, I've got enough stuff on my phone. I've heard stuff like they're not even going to they're talking about you have to have the app before you'll be able to go into a restaurant. I mean, people are going to go broke if that happens. I mean, give it 6 months. This will all be swept under the bridge. I understand the government taking caution at the start of the virus. The whole world has. I understand that. They didn't know what they were dealing with really. And in my opinion, they should have shut the borders a lot earlier. And though back in January and stuff like that, the media was going on about all these people coming in from China, and they didn't know whether they were sick and all that, and they were just being released back into the public, no question, But anyway, if you live in Victoria like I do, and apparently we've got till July to think about things still, where the rest of the country is slowly opening up, I mean, yeah, you can't really do anything. I mean, I suppose exercise is a bit of a grey area, isn't it? I mean, I suppose there's no rules as far as I know that you can't go so far from your house. I mean, why couldn't you drive for 8 hours and say, yeah, I'm just taking my dog for a walk in Adelaide or something? Oh, it'd be a lot longer. It'd probably be 12 hours from down here to Adelaide, but I'm just using it as an example. I think it's New South Wales or Queensland has with their lifting of the restrictions, you're only allowed to drive 50 kilometres from home, where to me that's 50, 500, why? But anyway, like I say, we've got till July to think about it, so it's not very nice, is it? Especially for I'm not sure what's happening in other states as far as opening up the restaurants and all that sort of stuff, but my guess is a lot of those restaurants and cafes probably won't be opening up again, you know. That's life. What do you do? I mean, there's been a few people that I know of, a couple on Twitter, and somebody that I know that's in Russia, believe it or not. She's lost her job through the virus, So it's happening everywhere. But anyway, like I say, we've got another couple of months to think about it, so that's the way it is. Not by popular demand. What the hell was that about? Don't know. Anyway, I did get a message from a guy over in Western Victoria about, he said I'd be welcome to go over there and do some camping, but it's just too far. I mean, you'd have to make a big, I mean, it'd have to be probably 7, 8 hours drive from here, and you got to go through the bloody city and all that crap, and all, well, I was just about to say something that I shouldn't, but, all through somebody's roadworks and, all that crap that's going on in the city. Just as I just thought of something here, talking about roads. If you're watching Star of the Sea, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Between here, Bairnsdale here and Stratford, it's about 50 k's, and I used to drive this road all the time years ago when I was living in Melbourne, when I was a truck driver at night, and they've got these stupid barriers in the middle. I reckon it's an absolute waste of time, disgrace, and dangerous. You're driving along at 100 k's, pitch black night, raining. You feel like you're going to run into the damn thing all the time, and they've got breaks in it where you can turn into roads and people's properties and all that sort of thing. And you can see where, well, you hear about it on the local news and stuff, where trucks and cars hit the end of these damn barriers. I mean, okay, it's probably gonna stop a head-on collision, but what about all the rest of the rubbish? I actually made a complaint with Vic Roads about it. I reckon it's a bloody disgrace. Anyway, guess what? They never got back to me. Surprise, surprise. Bloody government bureaucrats, So I reckon it's terrible. I reckon absolute. How much would it cost them to put all those barriers in the middle of the road, all the way from 50 kilometres, and not only in the centre, on the sides of the road, in places too. I just reckon it's an absolute. It's political correctness gone mad. I mean, if they want to stop killing people, let's. There was a section really smashed up near the Billabong. Exactly, Star of the Sea. That was only a few weeks ago, wasn't it? Exactly. That's exactly what happens. I mean, especially at night. You just can't see as well at night. And you feel like you're going to run into the damn thing. I've been down there in my car when it was raining one night, and I was not scared, but I was concerned that I was going to hit these freaking barriers all the time. And then it stops for 100 metres, and all of a sudden it comes on you again, and you swerve to the left because you think you're going to run into the end of it. Someone's probably on 500 grand a year making those decisions. But what do we know? We're just one vote. We're just one vote. So that, I'm not sure how it works with departments like Vic Roads and that. I mean, I assume if there's a change of government, they just keep chugging along. I'm not sure what ministers. Do they have a state minister for roads? I think they do. But anyway, that's those freaking barriers. But as far as I mean, if you take off somewhere to go camping, you know, you can get fined. But you know, you go into town here, and as I said on previous videos, it's probably 90 95% capacity. I mean, maybe a little bit less traffic, a little bit less people, but you know, there's still a lot of traffic around. And I mean, this is another thing I don't get. For argument's sake, I notice car dealerships are open. Okay, well, is it essential to buy a car? No, probably not. So, what does that mean? If you want to buy a car, you go to the dealership at your own risk. Is that how it works? So if you're out test driving a car, the cops could pull you over and say, "Listen, mate, that's non-essential. We're going to ping you $1,000 or whatever it is." You know, that's how I understand it. You know, there's been a lot of on Twitter. You know, I was getting attacked from a lot of people because there was, I think it was in Bairnsdale. Somebody was fined, or they retracted the fine. No, I'm not sure if it was Bairnsdale, but it was a guy was at a car wash place at 2 a.m. washing his car, and he got pinged $1,000 because it's unessential. And the guy said, "Yeah, but it's open," you know. So to me, that's ridiculous. I mean, the rule is it's essential travel only. You know, washing your car, not essential. It doesn't matter a bugger if it's open or closed. You know, like Bunnings. You know, I heard out in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne, apparently police were pinging people for buying non-essential goods. I mean, I suppose you can go to Bunnings to buy, I don't know, what would be essential at Bunnings? A mop or something, I don't know, something like that. But you know, if you buy a barbecue, well, it's not essential, is it? So that's what I heard. And I did hear our local one here that apparently the police were doing drive-throughs through the car park, you know, just to make people aware of what's going on. But you know, I really don't do much anyway. I've renovated houses over the years and all that sort of stuff, so I'm pretty much over that now. I live in a pretty new house, and it's you know, new houses are on the outside are just low maintenance now. Everything's colour-bond, so you don't have to repaint and all that stuff. So I'm happy about that. Probably haven't been to Bunnings for 12 months. No reason to, you know. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's the way I see it. I'm sure if we had 1,000 viewers, I'd be getting canned, you know. But that's life. Yeah, and another thing, I've said this on other videos too. I just don't understand. I sent rather an angry message to our East Gippsland Shire Council, and that the dog parks are closed. I mean, how the hell is that going to spread a virus? I mean, they don't understand that they're our parks. They're not theirs. I mean, we pay them, unfortunately, with our rates, and they make stupid bloody decisions. You know, I've had dealings with them, you know, a few years ago over, you know, it's a long story I don't want to get into, but you know, I ended up going in there, and when the council met and speaking into the microphone and you know, putting my case, and so did other people, and they didn't give a rat's tosses about the residents. They just went ahead and did it anyway. So they're just all a pack of scumbags as far as I'm concerned. So you know, and I know who was the mayor at the time, and I hate that person, you know, with a passion. I hate the whole council with a passion, to be honest with you. But that's life. You know, what do you do? And people wonder why, if I see the the people around the place, I give them a dirty look, you know. I don't have respect for them at all. Anyway, that's I haven't really got a lot on here today. There's not really that much going on in the news, is there? I mean, I've been looking around a little bit, but you know, I'm just looking at the trends on Twitter as we speak. There's, you know, the Ruby Princess. What's that about now? You know, it's probably another inquiry into an inquiry. You know, the governments love doing that, don't they? But you know, what do you do? But yeah, I'd love to. Not that we can go out camping at the moment, but I'd love to get out and do a bit of camping. It's been quite a while, a long time. I'll probably have to buy a bit more gear, but definitely, and I probably said this earlier too, but the reason why I want to get some private property to camp on is just so you don't get harassed or bothered, you know, especially if you're camping on Crown land. I mean, a lot of the guys on YouTube do you know, most of them do backpacking stuff, so they'll just walk into the woods or the bush, as we say. But you know, if you're car camping on a track somewhere up in the hills here, you know, you could get a carload of drunks come in at night with guns and stuff like that. You know, so I'd rather just get somewhere private where you can, and that's where most of them do. All the guys in the UK and in Canada, you know, they've all got, well, the guys sort of 50-50 in Canada. Some of them go to Crown land and some of them have permissions, but in the UK, they all seem to have permissions. So, you know, it can be done, but, you know, why is anyone going to go out of their way to give me something that they're not going to get anything from, you know? So, no, we'll just see what happens, except this guy over in the West said, no worries, you can come over, but yeah, it's just a bit far, unfortunately. You know, I'll probably travel an hour away, that'd be all right, you know, but not bloody 8 or 12 hours or something like that. No way. But, yeah, we might call it quits there. That I really don't have much on my list, you know. I could probably rave on about stuff for hours, but yeah, it's a little bit hard to know what to talk to. I mean, I'm pretty friendly with a guy who does YouTube videos, you know, rather successfully, and he finds that these live streams are just hopeless as far as viewers and you know, new subscriptions, you know. So he's sort of canned it for a while, apparently. So, I mean, I'm probably wasting my time here, but look, as I've said before, I really don't have much else to do at the moment. So I'm just going to put my time and effort into doing this. And, you know, a guy in Canada, bushcrafty camping guy, Joe Robinette, he's got over 1 million subscribers, but he said he's been doing it consistently for about 12 years. So I guess it just takes a long time to build up. I mean, I think I've only got 21 subscribers. Laughable, but you know, it's people still look at it. They might not be watching right now, but people tend to come back and look at it later. I mean, I'm not really good at. I've only got an old webcam up here, which I've had for probably 15 years. I mean, the quality's not that good. I can see it here looking at myself. And I'm not really good at editing. And I mean, there's guys out there that their editing is absolutely superb, you know, looks professional. They'd have to, for a 20-minute video, they probably take, you know, 500 shots, you know what I mean, where a 20-minute video for me would probably be 10 maximum. You know, I'm not real good at editing. I can sort of stumble my way through it, but that's about it, you know. And I don't have a great camera. I've just got this little, I bought this about 6 months, probably a year ago. It's just a little Yee light. I think it cost me $200. And, you know, the GoPros are sort of way over $500, and I didn't really want to spend that. And the DSLR cameras, I mean, they got the zoom. That little one doesn't really have zoom, so I mean, I suppose I could use. Some of my early videos are just on the phone, you know. So if I take the dog for a walk, I don't know, maybe I might just do a video with the phone or something. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. But just one more thing. I'm not sure if you follow me on some of the social medias. I mean, I've been trying to put the word out there, but I mean, you just got to try and. Why do people want to come and watch me? You know. But anyway, I promoted one of my videos. You can't promote live streams, you know, after the paid promotion. I mean, for some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, I just promoted one of my videos from, actually one of my most successful videos. For me, it's successful anyway. It's a video I did just around Bairnsdale with my phone, you know, back in January last year, and it's had like 1,000 views. Like I say, that's good for me. And I promoted that. I went through the Google AdWords and excuse me, set up the you know, the Google AdWords and all that sort of stuff. And anyhow, cut a long story short, I only did it for 24 hours. It just didn't seem to be worth it. It had like 20,000 impressions. I think it had like, I can't remember how many. I think it's had like 500 views or something like that, but it's only been watched for about 1%, you know. So people click on it and watch the first 10 seconds and go, nah, not for me. And I mean, it's not riveting TV, that's for sure. So, and there's only been like 2 extra subscriptions, and you know, they could have come from anywhere. They could have come from Facebook or Twitter or one of those, you know, who knows. So, and it only I think it cost me $7.50 or something like that. So it's not really worth it for me anyway. I mean, I'm not, you know, real flush at the moment. Long story, but I mean, I survive all right. But I've just lost my train of thought. But anyway, we're talking about the videos or something. That's right. The whether it's worthwhile doing the advertising. I mean, if people were watching the video for quite, you know, for 50%, and you got like 100 subs out of it, and then it's probably worth it, you know. But my most successful live stream, I think it's had about 85 views, and that was from late December when we were in the bushfires last year. I just did a 10-minute live stream just explaining the situation from where I am, and you know, I'd probably promote that. But you know, that obviously had a few views because it was, you know, hot topic at the time. And but yeah, I can't promote it because it's a live stream and you can't do them. So, but anyway, yeah, I think I'll end it here, and you know, I probably do too. I'm not sure what the rule is. Too many, too little, not enough. You know, I don't know. Maybe I've done probably too many over the last week, but I'm probably just sort of feeling my way into it, I guess. So yeah, if anything comes up, you know, like anything that we need to talk about, I'll just do another one. And like I say, it's good practice for me doing this. Hopefully down the track people will tune in. I mean, I like the outdoors, and I've done dash cams and all that sort of stuff, but you know, I'm no expert once again, but I'd pretty much just do a video on anything. But you know, I think the experts say you should just concentrate on one topic. You know, if you're doing camping, do camping. You know, because people will eventually just keep coming back to you to see camping videos. Whereas if you do, you know, camping, dash cams, and news, you know, people probably get a bit confused and go, "Oh, I don't like camping, but I like the news," or vice versa. And they probably think, "Well, I'll just give him a flick." You know, it's just not my style. But I mean, I don't follow a huge amount of people. I think I've got about 80 people that I subscribe to on YouTube. I think about 80, and I'm behind at the moment, way behind, because I've been focused on other stuff like this. And I think I've got about 270 videos in my queue or something. So, but I do have a couple of subscriptions that you know, are high quality, and I'm really interested in it. So as soon as they come out, I'll watch it. You know, so but that's life. And yeah, all right, we'll end it here. And thanks a lot, Star of the Sea, mate. I appreciate it. And I'll definitely put out another. I think you're the only one watching, mate, so I appreciate it. Here we go. Outdoors is. Yeah, that's exactly right. We can't go fishing. Yeah, it's Sam Newman. I follow him on Twitter, and I don't think there's a day to go by he just complains that he can't go to bloody golf. You know. So yeah, I mean, and even I know I've said it 3 times now, but Star of the Sea, you've sort of got me onto my other thought, and it's I'm no expert, but from, you know, I just have one ear open with the news sometimes, but I understand the teachers don't want to go back to school because they're afraid of getting the virus from the kids or something. I think that's just in Victoria. And what's his name's got the schools closed anyway, hasn't he? Going back about 3 weeks ago, I heard it out of the horse's mouth. He said, schools will be open, but I recommend you keep the kids at home. So I don't know what that means, but anyway, the schools are apparently closed now, or what, I don't know. I know more about the rest of the country, like especially New South Wales and Queensland, than I do about Victoria, you know. So the only thing I know is that, but anyway, just getting back on the teachers, what about, I reckon the people most vulnerable to catching this virus are the people at the supermarkets, you know. They're right in there. I mean, they've got thousands of people coming in and out of that place every day, you know. So why don't they shut supermarkets, you know? Why don't, but there's just so many grey areas, you know. But yes, outdoors is good, especially fishing sports. Yeah. I used to fish and all that years ago. Used to fish. I did a lot of fishing at a little hamlet here when I was a kid with my grandfather. A lot of fishing, you know, and I was into boats, and you know, I had a few boats at one point, but I just consolidated everything now. I've just got me in the car, and just waiting to try and get a little area to camp somewhere would be great. I even offered to, you know, if it's a farm, you know, like on the farms around here anyway, like you got wide open spaces obviously, but there's quite often dry creeks, seasonal creeks that run through them, and they're usually, a lot of them are fenced off, and they've got trees and everything, you know, to keep the stock out. And you know, something like that would be perfect, you know. And But like I say, I offer. I'm not really that flush, so I could always. I've been on machinery and stuff like that over the years, so I offered to swap a bit of labour or something like that on the farm, you know. So, yeah, but anyway, we'll see what happens. At least one guy got in contact with me, and we ended up swapping phone numbers. So, I'm not sure what situation he is, whether he has a farm or small acreage or whatever, but he seemed like a nice bloke. If only he was about 8 or 10 hours closer to me. So, but anyway, it's had like over 300 views, the ad, in a couple of days, so people are obviously looking at it. So it might not be that common in Australia. Like in the UK, I keep just going from subject to subject, but in the UK, according to one of the guys, Kent Survival, he says that there's only one place you're allowed to just, I think, to go in there and just camp at any time is Dartmoor. That's what. And you got to remember, you can fit the UK into Victoria with room to spare, and they've got 66 million or something like that. So you could. I mean, when we did the outback trips years ago, we used to just pull over on the side of the road and just camp in the bush. I don't know if anyone owned it or whatever, but we never had any dramas. We used to collect wood, start a fire, and all that sort of stuff, and never had any trouble. As long as you do the right thing, it's take your rubbish with you and don't leave any evidence that you've been there and all that. You won't have any trouble. But in this neck of the woods down here, it's a little bit more populated. So I reckon I haven't searched, but I have heard that you can just go north of all these towns along here, Stratford, Bairnsdale, Orbost. If you go north a bit towards the hills, you can go and collect firewood and all that sort of stuff. So if you can collect firewood, then I assume you'd be able to go in there and camp, But as I said before, my reasons why I'm not really that keen about doing that. So, so I'll just hopefully something comes up. Well, there's no hurry because we can't do anything till July. So, I mean, if this was my living, I could probably get away with it, because it's your living and you're allowed to go to work. So, but I don't make any money out of this at the moment. So hopefully down the track I'll get a bit of pocket money, which would be nice. I mean, I've donated $20 here and there to other guys. You sort of appreciate what they do. I've got a little bit of money coming in of my own, and not government or anything like that. But yeah, I get by, and I don't live extravagantly, but that's life, All right, I will end it here, and unless something else comes up, thanks again, Star of the Sea. And if something comes up, I'll do another one, or something will come to my brain. And that's about all we can do at the moment, is just play by ear. I mean, even if we didn't have the lockdown, I've really got nowhere to camp. I mean, I could probably go somewhere and camp in a national park or something like that if things were open. But like I say, I'd rather just go to a spot where, which is private. I mean, I lived on 12 acres not that long ago that I rented, and Christ, I wish I had this idea back then, because there would have been tons of spots there, I mean, they're pretty boring videos, but I mean, even the big guys, a lot of it's repetitive, but it's something to watch. You get used to the people, and you get used to the people. A lot of them do cooking and bushcraft and all that, where I probably won't do a lot of that. I'll just do whatever tickles my fancy, sort of, I'll just light a fire with a cigarette lighter and some paper, But over in Canada and the UK, they use the birch bark, which we don't seem to have here in the wild. It's just gum trees mostly. So, and you can build stuff over there too, because all the trees are. So I've got on another subject now. All the trees that seem to be straight over there, whether they're pines or whatever they are, like in Canada, in the forests, and even in the permissions they have in the UK, they, 90. I assume 90% of it is what they call dead standing. They cut down and build shelters out of and all that. But here in Australia, as I said the other day, I'd love to be corrected, but everything is gum tree, and they sort of grow all over the place. There's no real way you could build anything with that. It's good for firewood. I mean, they have plantations here, obviously, that are man-made, that they plant specifically for harvesting, for construction timber or whatever, pine. So they plant them all close together and they all just grow straight up. Actually, I looked at a house a while back out the back of, I won't say where, but not that far from you, Star of the Sea, probably a bit further towards Stratford area. And anyway, where this house was, I think it was about 10 acres or something, was right in the middle of I think it was a pine plantation, and they were fairly young, but, it was private anyway. You wouldn't have any noisy neighbours, that's for sure. But I guess, I don't know how long the trees take to grow, but every 5-10 years or whatever it is, they'll just come in and chop them down and replant again, I guess, So, yeah. So, but yeah, long story, I just didn't really, I don't know, I just didn't like the place that much, to be honest with you. So I just let it go, and, and now I'm stuck where I am. So in sort of suburban sort of area, but that's life. All right, that's it. We are definitely going now. Star of the Sea, thanks, mate. And if anyone else is watching but hasn't said anything, I thank you too. And we'll catch up with you soon, whatever happens. All right, take it easy. Cheers for now. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye.